What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome to a breaking news story. This is some big news coming out of Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee regarding their Gerstlauer Eurofighter Mystery Mine. If you don't know what Mystery Mine is, it is basically, like I said, a massive Eurofighter at Dollywood. It is a heavily themed roller coaster that's most notable for its 3 vertical drops on the ride. Well, say goodbye to that, because in a blog post Dollywood just posted, it is said that they retracked an entire section of the ride. Let's rewind a bit to earlier this season. Dollywood posted that they have track of Mystery Mine to retrack, and we really didn't know what this was going to be. It was held by the final section of the ride, so we might have assumed that they would have added something or done something similar to that. But no, it looks like they took out a little bit of track and replaced it with newer track. We got this information by the recent blog post, Top 3 Dollywood Signs Spring is Here. And it's a normal blog post until it gets to Mystery Mine. They show a few small park improvements like added fences, added shrubbery, but then they get to serious business. In their blog post they say, Mystery Mine is on track, yes that was a joke, to open a week or 2 after the park opens. We have been working on the ride with a ride manufacturer to enhance the guest experience. Our crews are extending the track after the first outside drop and reprofiling some of the turns and transitions to provide a smoother ride. And looking at the pictures, it doesn't look like they extended or reprofiled anything. It looks more like they actually removed parts of the ride, and the ride looks significantly shorter than it was before. So what exactly did they change? Well, I would definitely recommend you watching a Mystery Mine POV right now if you haven't watched one, just to get a familiar feel with the layout. Done? Okay, let's get right to it. The ride starts off with a bang, dropping you right out of the station into an underground portion of track. It's either underground or within the show building, I'm not 100% sure. But then it goes into a brake run and into the first lift hill of the ride. This is the first of 2, by the way. After that lift hill, it goes into a turn which leads into the second mid-course brake run of the ride. And back then, it would then go into a 90-degree drop down into a 90-degree turn, this being similar to the ones found on the Mauer spinning coasters. And then it will dip down, turn right, and then go into a banked turn into the next mid-course brake run. But what did they change about the layout exactly? Well, now, the 90-degree turn and that 90-degree drop are gone. They are not a part of the ride anymore. So, what has replaced this incredible section of track that a lot of people rave about because of how forceful the airtime is? Well, it turns into a left-hand turn, goes into a non-vertical drop, that's saying a drop with an angle less than 90 degrees, and then going into that bank turn and that having the mid-course brake run. My question to this is exactly why? Why would they really do this? I mean, a lot of enthusiasts say that this part might be a little jittery, but at the same time, they praise that second drop for its airtime and that turn for its quick transitions. I actually have a friend in the roller coaster community that says that second drop is the most forceful moment of airtime in Dollywood, and it's completely taken out. They say they're going to enhance the ride experience, but at the same time, I've heard nothing but complaints in the industry. I mean, that next drop, it does not look as forceful as that first original second drop, and it goes right into the mid-course brake run. Talk about a short block zone. Another thing I find funny is most people complain about the first half of the ride. Dollywood just made it even more useless. It's now more forceless and more boring overall. So there are going to be even more complaints about the first half because that second drop gave you a little bit of a break from the boring parts of the ride. Now there isn't a break, and it's just meandering from the first drop to the third drop. Maybe on the other side of the spectrum, there are many GP that will praise this once they realize that it happened. And that leads me to the discussion, will Herschend try to lean more towards the general public? Look at what they've done to roller coasters in the past. Let's start off with Lightning Rod, right at the same park. Looking at that ride, people used to praise that first launch and those first few airtime moments at the top for being extremely forceful. Now the launch makes it barely meander over those 2 hills. The launch is much slower than it used to be, and it got a lot of complaints. It was to satisfy the GP and to create less track stress. This brings me to Kentucky Kingdom, their most recent purchase under Herschend, and let me just say, people praise both Lightning Run and Storm Chaser for their aggressiveness and the way they oiled the track, so it's a little more aggressive than other roller coasters out there. Under Herschend's ownership, will they put softer wheels there and the rides will be less aggressive? That's a big fear of mine. Storm Chaser and Lightning Run might have seen their prime already, and their best days might be behind them. That's a very pessimistic outlook on it, and I really hope that doesn't happen to satisfy the GP more, because the GP still like these rides. They still got in line for Mystery Mine, even though that section might have been a little more jittery, and they still got in all these lines. Think of all the money that they spent on this. It had to be at least 500,000 to this. And let me just say with that, what are they really improving? What lines are going to come in more than they used to? I don't know a single person who specifically complained about that one section of track that they removed. Like when they removed Drakenfire's corkscrew at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, at least a lot of people agreed that was the worst element of the ride. I don't know a single person that says that 90-degree turn or that second drop is the worst element of the ride. Heck, I think many people actually think that's the best element of the ride. So, it really just sucks that this happens with the enthusiasts, and I really don't see the profit made after this. It is a real shame, but at the same time, Herschend has a history of knowing exactly what they're doing. So could this end up benefiting the park after all? Well, I highly doubt it, but I'm not exactly a business major at all. So, let's just see what happens, and let's see if they add some more theming to make it even better. But anyway, for an improvised video, I think this video has gone long enough. I'm going to post a poll on my channel. It's not going to be an Ask the Fans, instead it's just going to be a simple poll, so definitely check that out after I'm done. Well, what do you think about this? Let me know in the poll. But anyway, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.